Hi there, I'm Brissa Cabe, the Digital Learning Specialist here at LCMS. Welcome to our App Chat for Educators podcast, where we'll explore different apps, instructional strategies, and other digital resources for education. Thanks for tuning in. This week, I'm here with two of our Vanguards, Chelsea Bullock and Heather Tressler. Ladies, please tell us a little bit about yourselves and your roles here on campus.
Good morning. I am Heather Tressler. I teach 7th and 8th grade RLA Resource and Read 180 Systems 44 for our 6th grade students. This is my 3rd year here at LCMS and 19th year overall in teaching.
My name is Chelsea Bullock. Hello, and I teach 8th grade science, which is actually the best class ever to teach. I've been teaching science for almost 10 years now. This is my 3rd year at Cooper. I've died and gone to teacher heaven out here. I have been in education for 16-ish years.
Something I absolutely love and appreciate about our school is how our staff members in all different roles and content areas can come together to work at making this campus the best it can be for our students and for each other. Chelsea, Heather, I've had the pleasure of working with and learning from y'all as part of our Vanguard team. Something that I'd really love to talk with you both about today is a very useful digital resource that you've both used and encouraged others to make use of as well, ditchthattextbook.com. Both of you having presented on Ditch That Textbook at this year's Digital Learning Expo, I know that you were able to showcase how great it is to many LCP educators. But for those who may still be unfamiliar with this resource, can you tell us a little bit about what exactly this website is all about?
Ditch That Textbook is a project I think that he has been doing since before technology was cool. That whole website basically is how teachers can use other resources and their technology to gamify, to enhance, to engage learners, and really just do a great job teaching every single day.
Yeah, and just to add to that, I think that on the go, teachers are always trying to find great resources and easy to access templates and activities. And this website also has lesson plans available along with, just any kind of exit slip or templates that teachers may be looking for, and they don't have to recreate.
Yes, and know that everything is like Google friendly. It's pre-made Google Forms, Google Slides, Google Docs. Everything works seamlessly with everything that we have here at Cooper. So you could go there, steal an idea, make it your own, and use it literally that morning.
So how do you both personally like to use Ditch That Textbook's resources in your own classrooms?
I've used this website and these templates many different ways, but one of them that my kids really have loved is the Netflix slides. My kids are very engaged with anything social media templates, and so using the Netflix template, I had them use that as independent reading, and they were able to take pictures and manipulate the template to match their independent reading book. It also held them accountable in their reading. And so it was just a great way to showcase their learning and share their books and have book talks that was all done by kids. So the students were doing all of the learning and all of the work. I've also used it for Who Wants to Be a Millionaire for test review. My kids seem to be more engaged whenever it's gamified. Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, and there's also Family Feud. There's all kinds of great just television show gamified templates.
I've also used the gamification in the classroom. When I do 8th grade STAR, we do a lot of competition and we have to hype it up so that it's engaging, and having the gamification, even having students create their own versions of games is really, really fun, and it really stretches the kids to show their mastery of the content. They love competing against each other. They will work very hard for a sticker or just literally the label of being a winner. I've also used the digital escape rooms. That has been a lot of fun. Having kids struggle through concepts and having to collaborate and work together is what science is all about. I started my journey with Ditch That Textbook probably like in 2018, and then it really amplified when COVID hit and we had to flip and go completely remote. Just HyperDocs and choice boards and Google Slides and having everything kind of in a simplified version for the kids to find on Google Classroom it really helped me just kind of build everything in there and make it a more personalized experience for my kids. I could literally go on and on. I've used tons of stuff. I've used the Facebook version. I even used it like long ago with different authors and different historical people for Avid. There's something for every single content, and I think who even knows how many things everybody has done. Whew.
And see, something that I appreciate that both of y'all alluded to is it's very low prep on the teacher's end. You find a template, you think about how you want your kids to interact with it, manipulate it, use the content with it, and then you just give it to your kids and they run with it. They're the ones doing the work, they're the ones doing the creating, they're the ones who are engaged with the content. And so it's very low prep for the teacher.
I agree. I've also used it for social emotional learning. Like they have attendance questions like would you rather templates in there. So even electives, if you're thinking, how can I utilize this resource, there are some really great activities for everyone.
So you mentioned, Heather, specifically some of the social media experiences that you've used with your kids, and even Chelsea said something about a Facebook template. Mm-hmm. But how do you think that giving students a social media experience in the classroom, even when you're not using the actual social media, can impact their instruction?
Oh, that's their world. Anything that we can do to tap into what they do every single day and what they want to be doing every single day in class, and we give them that avenue that they're already familiar with, and then they can use content to kind of reach their knowledge and their audience, and in their own way. It just reaches them where they're at, and they seem way more engaged and are willing to share. It's low pressure for them, and so it's not something they have to come up with on their own. They know how to utilize the templates before we even give it to them.
And another thing, it's a safer way to use those real world, modern day activities that they're engaged in. You wouldn't want to assign your children to make a real TikTok because who knows what's out there or what you may get in trouble with parents and with all the dangers of online stuff. So they get to have the fun, we get to be cool, and it's all safe and content focused.
So overall, like we've talked about the social media experience, we've talked about how easy the templates are to use, but I think the question that many other educators would be asking is it worthwhile? How does it really impact learning and instruction for our students?
Absolutely. I think anytime you can get a piece of student work and their evidence of learning where they're doing the work, they're doing the creating, and they're doing the justifications, it's absolutely worth it. It's also worth it because the template's already there for educators. You're not having to spend precious time during planning time and during the day to prep for those activities. The templates are there that you can just push out into Google Classroom. I think that, obviously you want to do an exemplar and model that learning for your students, but I think it's absolutely worth it to check out this resource and put it in your bag of tricks and toolbox as a teacher.
Yeah, and to add on to that, when students are engaged and they are doing the work and taking ownership of that moment, then you're going to have greater academic success. And the students, when they have something that is fun and real world to them, they don't even realize the processes that they're going through to create these products that are such high level and so rigorous. It really moves them along, like the SAMR model, if you think about technology, or on our little portrait of a pirate, what we want them to do. It helps them to naturally collaborate and to create and to use technology not just as a supplement for paper, but to really build things and make things and do things, which is what we want our kids doing.
And I mean, some of those templates can really expand their ways of thinking. Like, for example, there's a Spotify playlist Google Slides template. Who would think that let's create a Spotify playlist for an element on the periodic table, or let's create a Spotify playlist for a character in a certain literary work or a historical figure. There's just different templates on there that it can stretch the way that they think and really make them more creative. And I love that y'all both are talking about it's giving students ownership over their work, and it's in such an easy and user-friendly way.
And I think it's a great differentiation tool. Just thinking about the Spotify, my kids actually use that for mood and tone and RLA, and their answers were so different. But it also, it allowed me to differentiate for every single kid and be prescriptive. Kind of what we were talking about a while ago. But I think that the creativity part, it reaches all the different learning styles in your classrooms, and I think it allows you as a teacher to really enjoy watching them create.
So is there anything else that either of you would like to share about Ditch That Textbook's resources before we wrap up our time?
I just think give it a try. Talk with your team that you work with, everybody, pick one and just try it out once. And I think after that, you're going to be hooked. The simplicity of it is just second to none. I know teachers can take these templates and make them their own and just really amplify their classrooms and have minimal time constraints. That's just, to me, the best benefit. We can do amazing things simply and not lose any of our precious time.
Yeah, I would just suggest start small. Start with just the exit slips and kind of use that template to see how it goes and how the kids are engaged, and then just keep dipping your toes in it. It doesn't have to be all or nothing. MPLC is just talking about that as one more strategy, adding that to your lead forward bank of knowledge, and continuing to, it can go across content. So go and talk to other content teachers and see what they've used and what your kids are already familiar with using.
I like that.
So Heather, Chelsea, thank you both so much for joining me for this awesome conversation today. I loved getting to talk with you about ditchthattextbook.com and its plethora of resources. It's definitely a website that can save teachers time and encourage creativity from our students. And I know that so many others on our campus, in our district, and statewide could benefit from what it has to offer. Listeners, stay tuned in the coming weeks for more App Chats with other LCMS educators. Thanks for tuning in. Until next time.